In a small, peaceful village nestled between green hills lived Adunni. She was known by all as the little woman, a nickname given to her because of her small stature and gentle nature. Though Adunni was not tall or strong like the other women in the village, she had a heart full of kindness and a spirit that could move mountains. Adunni lived in a tiny cottage at the edge of the village, surrounded by a beautiful garden filled with flowers, herbs, and fruits. She had no family, for her parents had passed when she was young, but she was never alone. The villagers often visited her for advice or simply to enjoy a cup of tea in her garden. She was known for her wisdom, her warm smile, and the way she always listened carefully to those around her. One day, a great storm came to the village. The winds howled, the rain poured down in torrents, and the rivers swelled, flooding the paths between the houses. Many villagers were trapped in their homes, and the crops in the fields were destroyed. The storm lasted for days, and when it finally ended, the village was left in ruins. The villagers were devastated. Their homes were damaged, their food stores washed away, and their hearts filled with worry about how they would rebuild. The village elder, a wise man named Baba, called for a meeting to discuss how they would recover. The people gathered, their faces lined with grief, and waited for Baba to speak. "We must find a way to restore our village," Baba said. "We must rebuild our homes, replant our crops, and find food to survive." The villagers nodded, but no one had any idea how they would accomplish such a huge task. It seemed impossible, given the destruction around them. Then quietly from the back of the crowd came the soft voice of Adunni. "We may be small, but together we can do anything," she said, her voice filled with hope. "One step at a time, we will rebuild this village. We must start with what we can do, no matter how small." The villagers looked at her in surprise. Adunni was just a little woman. What could she possibly do to help? But Baba smiled and nodded. "Sometimes it is the small things that make the biggest difference," he said. "Let us listen to her." And so Adunni began. She first went to the village's schoolhouse, which had been damaged in the storm. With a few simple tools, she patched up the roof. It was a small task, but it was a start. Then she went to the community kitchen, where food supplies had been ruined. She gathered whatever she could find, carefully planted seeds, and offered what little food she had left to those who needed it most. Her efforts, though small, were noticed by the others. Inspired by her courage and determination, the villagers began to join her. One by one, they started helping with the rebuilding process. The men rebuilt the homes, the women planted new crops, and the children helped carry water and gather food. Everyone worked together, small steps leading to bigger steps, until slowly but surely, the village began to take shape again. In time, the village flourished once more. The fields were green, the homes strong, and the people united. Though they had all worked hard, it was Adunni's gentle determination that had been the spark that brought them together. Her simple actions had shown them that no task was too big if everyone worked together, no matter how small they were. The villagers never forgot the lesson they learned from the little woman. They realized that greatness does not always come from strength or size, but from the heart and the will to make a difference. Adunni may have been small, but she had a spirit that was larger than life, and it was that spirit that saved the village. From that day on, whenever there was a challenge or a problem, the villagers would remember Adunni's words. "We may be small, but together we can do anything." And they lived by that motto, knowing that even the smallest among them could change the world.